going to open the meeting tonight. We have quite a few public hearings. We will start with the 2017-08 annexation of 990 Steel Road. Mr. Stokes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is opening of public hearing with respects to issues of annexation at 990 Steel Road. Is there anyone here that would like to speak either for or against the annexation of the property located at 990 Steel Road? If so, please come up and sign up, and you'll be able to make an announcement to the council and to the public. For purposes of annexation of 990 Steel Road, no one indicated they'd like to have the podium for speaking in regard to annexation, and that open meeting is hereby closed. 2017-09 public hearing, rezoning 990 Steel Road. Is there anyone here that would like to speak either for or against the rezoning of the property located at 990 Steel Road? Mr. Mayor, no one indicated they desired to speak either for or against the rezoning of the property at 990 Steel Road, and that public hearing is now by closed. 2017 rezoning 0013B 1300A Battlefield Parkway from C1 to C1 special exception. This is a public hearing. Mr. Young, there was an indication that y'all would like to table that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right.
To get some additional data to the city manager at your office, so the council can be prepared to hear everything, please.
And all right, so we'll table that public hearing and hold it at a later date. We will have to republish, but we'll do that. Thank you, Mr. Young. 2017-14 annexation of 0019A 002 Highway 41. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in opposition or in favor of the annexation of the property located on Highway 41? Mr. Mayor, doesn't indicate, no indication the public hearing is necessary with respect, or the public hearing can be closed with respect to that annexation. No one here either for or against the annexation. 2017-15 rezoning of parcel number 0019A 002 Highway 41 to a C1 rezoning. Is anyone here that desires to speak either in favor or in opposition to the rezoning of said property to a C1? Mr. Mayor, there's no indication anyone is present to speak either on or behalf of the rezoning of Highway 41 property to a C1. I hereby declare those public meeting hearings, except for the one that was tabled, closed.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. At this time, we will call the regular scheduled council meeting to order. Mr. Rogers, would you do the invocation? Mr. Crawford, lead us in the pledge, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for your love, Lord. Thank you for our city. Lord, thank you for our country. Thank you for the blessings of freedom that you've given us. Lord, give this council wisdom as we conduct the business of the city. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is reading of the minutes of the previous council meeting. If members of council have had an opportunity to review these, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. communications from the mayor. Well, cold weather's here. Everybody use extreme caution. We're dragging out the space heaters, firing up the fireplaces. Fire chief was at the last meeting. He gave a little spiel on some of the things you need to be a little cautious with, but just exercise caution. Let's everybody stay safe, and everybody have a safe and happy holiday. Next item on the agenda is zoning matters. We have none. Next item on the agenda is ordinances. Item number 1, third and final reading, annexation, ordinance number 2017-08. Justin Hunt, 990 Steel Road, Rossville, Georgia. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2017-08, annexation, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by authority thereof, section 1, that the following property owned by Justin Hunt and HTH Development, known as 990 Steel Road, is annexed into the city of Fort Oglethorpe. Said property is particularly described in a deed attached thereto to the ordinance, section 2. If any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by mayor and council. Mayor, this is a third reading and suitable for action by the council.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2 under ordinances, third and final reading, zoning, ordinance number 2017-09, rezoned to R5 residential, Justin Hunt, 990 Steel Road, Rossville, Georgia. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2017-09, rezoning, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and is hereby ordained by the authority thereof, section 1, that the following property owned by Justin Hunt and HTH Development, known as 990 Steel Road, Rossville, Georgia, 30741, is hereby rezoned to an R5 residential multifamily zoning. Said property is particularly described in the deed attached to this ordinance. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. This is the third reading, available for action by the council. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to ask Ms. Simpkins, can you kind of speak on the process of I know we've got to vote on accepting the land, the generous land that Mr. Hunt is donating to us, and this the standing on the roundabout.
Sure. So we did a traffic study as you all recommended based on your first tabling of this agenda item, and we found that on Max Smith Road there's over 10,000 vehicles a day that travel on Max Smith Road, and Steele has several thousand a day as well. So you all asked that we explore the idea of doing a roadway improvement such as a roundabout at Steele Road and Max Smith Road. And so we did. We worked with the city engineer, and in your packets you'll see, and we'll get to this under new business as well, but you'll see that a roundabout design has been completed, the preliminary design, and a preliminary survey has also been completed. Once we get to that agenda item, we're proposing approval of the preliminary design for the roundabout, which may change depending on the final deed, but that is part of the agenda tonight.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Ms. James?
No.
Motion carries 4-1. Item number 3 is third and final reading of zoning ordinance number 2000-17-12. Request C1 special exception, owner of Community National Bank, map 0013B 1300A Battlefield Parkway. I will entertain a motion to table item number 3.
Motion, sir.
I have a motion, to have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Ordinance number 2017-12 will be tabled. Unanimous vote. Item number 4, third and final reading, annexation, ordinance number 2017-14. Owner Richard Brown and Bernard H. Brown doing business as Brown's Construction Company. Map number 0019A002, Highway 41, Ringo, Georgia. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2017-14, annexation. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and it is hereby ordained by the authority thereof, Section 1, that the following property owned by J. Richard Brown and Bernard H. Brown doing business as Brown's Construction Company and known as MAP number 0019A002, Highway 41, Ringo, Georgia 30736, is hereby annexed into the city of Fort Oglethorpe. Said property is particularly described as a deed attached as Exhibit A. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon a part to be held invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. Third reading, your mayor, and this is in fact ready for council action.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
I have a second. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 5, third and final reading, zoning, ordinance number 2017-15, request zoning of C1, owner Richard Brown and Bernard H. Brown doing business as Brown's Construction Company, map number 0019A002, Highway 41, Ringo, Georgia. Mr. Stokes.
Ordinance number 2017-15, rezoning, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and it is hereby ordained by authority thereof, Section 1, that the following property owned by J. Richard Brown and Bernard H. Brown doing business as Brown's Construction Company and known as MAP number 0019A002, Highway 41, Ringo, Georgia 30736, is hereby rezoned to a C1 commercial zoning. Said property is particularly described in the deed attached with the application for rezoning. Section 2, if any part of this ordinance shall be held to be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair other parts of this ordinance unless it clearly appears that such other parts are wholly and necessarily dependent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 3, that this ordinance shall take effect from and after its adoption by the mayor and council. This third reading, actions available to the council on this matter. Mr. Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Ms. Stinney?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 2017-06, City of Essex. Ms. Simpkins, you have that one?
I do. This is a Cities of Ethics program. It raises awareness about ethics issues at the local level and provides a local forum for the airing and resolution of legitimate concerns. To be certified as a City of Ethics, the council must adopt 5 principles, and those are listed in the resolution. And the resolution states, whereas the Board of Directors of the Georgia Municipal Association has established a certified City of Ethics program, and whereas the City of Fort Oglethorpe wishes to be certified as a certified City of Ethics under the GMA program, and whereas the certification process requires the mayor and city council to subscribe to the 5 ethic principles approved by the GMA board, now therefore be it resolved by the governing authority of the City of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, that as a group and as individuals, the governing authority subscribes to the following ethics principles and pledges to conduct its affairs accordingly. Serve others, not ourselves. Use resources with efficiency and economy. Treat all people fairly. Use the power of our position for the well-being of our constituents, and create an environment of honesty, openness, and integrity. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second, sir.
Any discussion? This is something this city worked very hard to achieve, and I think, might be right, I think it's every 3 years they send for this information update. But we worked hard to get this, and we're working very hard to maintain it. It's not every city in Georgia that has this. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Unfinished business, we have none. New business, Article 1, proposed approval to accept land donation from Mr. Hunt. Ms. Simpkins.
As we stated previously, this is, we've had a preliminary survey completed of 1.31 acres of ERTH property and 0.18 acres of Emerson properties has been completed that would be sufficient to construct a roundabout. This agenda item is to accept the donation of land from ERTH and/or Emerson Properties LLC once a warranty deed describing the legal metes and bounds of the property is signed by the owners. This is a potential local roadway improvement project in the future based on funding availability. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve. Motion. I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2, proposed approval to purchase workers' compensation insurance. Ms. Simpkins.
BB&T Insurance Services Incorporated works with the city to write our workers' compensation insurance program annually. 3 markets were approached on the city's behalf this year, and the best pricing option was offered by Bitco Insurance. The total cost in 2018 is $147,033. This is a savings of 3.5% over our 2017 cost of workers' compensation insurance that was provided by Travelers. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 3, proposed approval to purchase firefighter cancer policy through GMA. Ms. Simpkins.
Mayor and City Council, as you're aware, House Bill 146 was signed by the governor this past legislative session, and it requires cities or counties with a fire department to provide critical illness and income replacement if cancer is contracted while on the job by a firefighter. The firefighters who contract cancer while on the job will be eligible for extra health insurance beginning January 1st of 2018. BB&T got one quote on the city's behalf from ACE American Insurance for $11,180. GMA is also offering a cancer firefighter policy for $8,720. So we recommend using GMA GERMA lump sum cancer benefit and long-term disability starting January 1st, 2018. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. I have a motion to approve.
Motion, sir.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 4, proposed approval to purchase combination jet truck. Mr. Parker?
I've got photos that I actually have failed to get into the agenda package of the truck.
So you have
Back in August, we had sought proposals through advertisement, and we also contacted some suppliers for it's described as a heavy-duty combination sewer cleaner truck. And it's a combination unit that will have the capability of jetting out sanitary sewer lines, also storm drains with larger diameter pipelines. And we have a small truck, but a lot of the larger diameter lines, it's ineffective on. This truck is very similar to the one that Rossville and Ringo both have. And on a number of occasions, we have had to call them to unstop both sewer lines and storm drains because our truck just wouldn't handle the work. It's just too small. The truck that we're requesting here will be used in the sewer department and the street department. It'll be used by both departments for sanitary sewer and storm drains. The vacuum can be used to vacuum catch basins, pulling off the manhole lids of a catch basin to vacuum out the debris that collects after storms. It can also be used to vacuum out the debris from the pump station wet wells, which we contract that out with a service company to come in and do that from time to time. So this truck has lots of uses. It's a very expensive piece of equipment, but it will serve the city in a number of capacities for a long time. We received 4 bids on the truck. The low bid from Environmental Products of Georgia is the amount of $330,525. This particular manufacturer, we checked the reference on it. They supplied us with a list of references. The city of Ringo uses a truck from this manufacturer, and the city of Dalton uses a truck from this manufacturer. We talked to both of those folks that run the trucks. They're very happy with the trucks. Dalton actually has bought a second one to go along with their other one that they had. So, you know, it'll be on a Freightliner chassis, which we've run the Freightliner chassis on some of our other large trucks. So we've had good service out of those. So, you know, we're comfortable recommending this vehicle to y'all. It'll be purchased out of SPLOST for use by 2 departments.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I'd like to compliment Mr. Parker and Mr. Long both. We've actually been working on this since July, and we wanted to make sure we got the best bang for our buck, and they've gone overboard really, looking at them and trying to figure out which one is the best, which one is the lowest maintenance, and I'd just like to compliment them on the hard work that they did in finally selecting this piece of equipment. I know I asked them 2 or 3 times, and they said, well, we think we got a better one, and they worked hard getting it. Now, I don't think we could have found a better one. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but it's something this city desperately needs.
The old sewer lines.
Is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 5, proposed approval to award LMIG safety contract. Mr. Long.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is for the safety grant we put in, actually before my time, back in March of this year. And the city was awarded this. It's for putting in the crosswalks here on the multipurpose trail at City Hall Drive, Forest Road, and Van Cleve Street. That'll be the flashing signs that they'll be solar powered, so it won't cost any, have electricity bill with each one, and where they can push the button and it does both sides of the road. It's for that, and then also some striping, putting the thermoplastic striping on four city streets, which was Forest Road, Van Cleve Street, Patterson Avenue, and Max Smith Road. And so that will be done. The striping will probably be done this spring due to the weather, the cold weather on there. But we do have to get this bid out and submitted there before the end of the year and started on there. So the low quote received for the signage was from TransSafe, and it was $12,961, and then the thermoplastic striping was from Superior Pavement Markings for $39,930. And this is a 70-30 grant, so this part we've got minor amount of engineering that we'll have, but this one will be $37,024 of the state money, and then our match will be $15,867 on the portion asking for y'all to approve tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 6, proposed approval of paving list for LMIG 2018 grant cycle. Mr. Long.
Yes, this will be our LMIG safety, or the LMIG paving for resurfacing for 2018 that has to be in by the end of the year. Put the roads on there. If we, Max Smith Road, Edgewood Circle, and Aviation Drive, most of the money will go, which the city portion of Max Smith Road is 2.1 miles. I've put down for the first mile of it will be from Clyde Springs Road to right there at Noel Lane, and right there around Max Smith Tire be where it ends. And one of the reasons for that, due to looking at this roundabout, that way it won't get into it, and we can tie right into it and then do the later. Plus, that's how far the funds for this year would, or for next year would carry it. So just asking for y'all to approve this list of these roads, and we'll get it submitted to the state.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second, sir.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Item number 7, proposed approval to purchase vehicle for police department. Chief Help.
Mr. Mayor and Council, my office brings to you a recommendation tonight to purchase a vehicle to replace one that we lost October the 28th of this year to a fire incident that occurred. After conferring with the city attorney and regarding the bids and city manager regarding the finances, and receiving back some reimbursement from our insurance carriers. That amount that we received from insurance totaled $10,605.99. We would like to recommend the purchase of another vehicle to replace the 2010 Crown Vic that burned. The remaining balance for this purchase would be $19,507.01. This would be a duplicate purchase of what we bought in late August, and the only exception would be one thing we're adding would be some wraps on the front of the car. These wraps are designed to protect the headlighting systems. We found through talking with neighboring agencies that if those headlighting systems get damaged, they're $1,000 each to replace. So to protect those, we spent $278 on some wraps to help cover some of those possible sources of damage. We would like to recommend, normally we would recommend vehicles being purchased from SPLOST, but we'd like to save the SPLOST funds knowing that we have funds available in our 2017 general budget. And we'd like to take that $19,507.01 from our police department general fund and finish the purchase this year.
Thank you, Chief Help. I have a motion to approve.
Yes, sir, motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 8, proposed approval to cancel December 25th council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second,
Do I have a
sir.
second? Any discussion? We all want to make sure we're home when Santa Claus comes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
December 25th regularly scheduled council meeting is canceled. Next item on the agenda, city manager's report. Ms. Simpkins.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I'd like to, first of all, congratulate a team of Chris McKeever, Bob Dial, Stephanie Doris, Nicole Hill, and Brent Templeton, who submitted an application to Thrive 2055 with a letter of support from the city to participate in the Thriving Communities Program in 2018. This is the third year of the program, and the city of Fort Oglethorpe is one of 4 communities in our tri-state region to participate in the 2018 program. The on-site community launch workshop will take place sometime in January, and there'll be more information to come. And we certainly encourage everyone who's interested in being a part of this community visioning to come out and participate in those opportunities. Also, if you're interested in participating on the city's planning commission or any other commission or committee, I've got some applications up here, and we would definitely appreciate your time and consideration participating in one of our committees. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Simpkins. Next item on the agenda is city council comments and business. Ms. James.
Want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and hope everyone has safe travels if they're traveling out of town. And we look forward to 2018.
Thank you, Ms. James. Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everybody. It's been a great year. Really thankful for our city, thankful for our staff. Done a phenomenal job this year. Happy birthday to Miss Rhonda as well. So from my wife, from Ella and myself, Merry Christmas. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Mr. Crawford.
Yeah, I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a happy birthday to Miss James. It's been an honor to work with you the last few years.
And you can tell them how many.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Once again, my 30.
And I'd just like to say to Miss Simpkins and Mr. Quarles, good job. I know we had some issues with some of these zoning matters and stuff that we've had, and we've changed people, and we've got a new department head over there and working through some of that stuff, and good job on making sure we get it right.
Thank
And kudos to that. And I'd like to also tell Jeff Long, and actually, come on up here for a second, Jeff, and the mayor and several people that since, 2009, we started on this gymnasium
That's when
project.
we started.
And
First attempt.
and just several board members have on the rec board. Some are no longer with us, and it's been a process. But just give an update because it's coming to an end.
We're back at it done, but it don't beat code. No.
Where's Rick?
Now, we should get the parking lot paved this week. We're going to do a final walkthrough this Friday at 3 o'clock on it, so everything is coming together. Actually, we rolled in the basketball goals today on there, so everything should be here within, depending on the punch list Friday, probably within 2. I think the doors are delayed on the metal doors there. I think they're supposed to be here the 22nd, so we should be able to be playing ball probably by week after next on it, and then even if the doors aren't there, so just put 2 temporaries on the restroom doors, and we can deal with the other ones just to let them get in here and start playing. But
Did you say they striped the floors already?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, floors, they was completed yesterday.
Okay.
So we've got that done.
Has anybody made a shot yet?
No.
The mayor.
We
needs
hadn't
to be-
loaded up the weight in the goals yet, so we had some there while they were still down low. Some of my city guys tried to do some slam dunks while they was down about 4 foot. But it's come on well, and I'd like to thank the mayor and council and city manager and And like I say, this has been a long-going thing, so glad to see it coming to a reality. And we'll probably we'll set a date for a grand opening and have a ribbon cutting probably right at the end of the year or first of the year, but we'll make sure y'all are invited.
And we need to get Brian and Adam over there to take a lot of pictures and everything, because these citizens, if you can't come and view it, that's something that the city of Fort Oglethorpe is long overdue, something they're going to be proud of. And we used the old building, and it's over there with the wreck.
And I've got about probably 70, 75 pictures we'll get with Brian about doing from when it was just an empty warehouse building, basically, up to this day and time. And I'm sure we can maybe put it on the website and they can see it on it also, the progress of it. So, thank y'all.
That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Mr. Childs?
I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The year's coming to an end. I'd also like to thank the mayor and the council. We've had a pretty good year in 2017. We have an outstanding staff, city manager and her directors, and we have a lot coming in 2018. And we have our city, I think, is on the right path. We can agree to disagree at times, but I think we're making the right choices. So it's a great place to live with the way the country is right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Child. Ms. Stinney?
Yes, sir. With the year drawing to the end, the Fort Oglethorpe Fire Department hosted their annual awards and Christmas banquet where James Weasel Sims received his Golden Axe for 35 years of service, and also receiving awards for achievement corporal rank were Brandon Clark, Casey Jones, Cody Kendrick, for the rank of sergeant, Michael Cook, Scott Lewis, Daniel Petty, and Terry Varnex. Years of service awards for 5 years, Jason Asbill, Josh Spencer, Zane Glaves, Ryan Sawyers. For 15 years of service, Brad Horn, Larry Jackson, Chris Salter. And the Fort Oglethorpe Fire Department wishes to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday season. Now, something very strange happened in the police department. It was the morning of Friday, December the 8th, when the Fort Oglethorpe Police Department received an unusual gift from an anonymous source. Chief Helton said that the card read, "Thank you for taking care of my little ones. God bless you all, Santa." Inside the two boxes was a commercial water fountain and bottle filler. Officer Stooksbury said, "How did he know?" Stooks, he knows everything. And now, keeping good with our annual tradition of the poem, my apologies to Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before council when all through the hall, City Manager Simpkins was saying, "Get busy, y'all." Jeff at the gym, Phil in the sewer, I apologize, Phil, and Pam accounting with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The staff were nestled, all snug in their task, while visions of restaurants, retail infrastructure danced in their heads, and Harold in his Carhartts and Rick in his cow had just settled down for a long zoning chow. When out on the lawn there rose such a clatter, Miss Carroll sprang from her chair to see what was the matter. Away to the lobby, Chiefs Ballou and Helton flew like a flash, tore open the front door, and out they did dash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave them a moment to stop and look at the objects below. When what to the citizens' wondering eyes did appear but a way-cool sleigh and 5 councilors. With the little old driver so solemn but quick, everyone knew in a moment it must be Earl Nick. Sorry, sir. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. "Now Derek, now Craigie, now Jimbo and Rhonda, on, oh heck, where is that darn girl? Pay attention, Paula. To the top of the porch, to the top of the council room, at the end of the hall. Now listen to this and vote on that. Nothing is too big and nothing is too small." In khaki and navy we listened intently as Robbie read us the law. We sessioned and questioned and scratched our bare heads. Don't take it personal, Jim. Maybe a table or an ordinance or a proclamation instead. A motion and discussion began to ensue. It ended with a unanimous vote to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year too, from Mayor and Council 2017. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Council. It's been a privilege.
Thank you, Ms. Stinnett. Next item on the agenda is executive session. We do not have anything for executive session. Next item on the agenda is adjournment. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.